With the fire decks taking over, I have constructed a budget Ghoti deck that rivals the current meta. Ghoti as it stands has a really good matchup against the fire deck for three reasons. 1. The deck doesn't destroy, which means it doesn't play into the destructive nature of the fire decks. 2. Banishing board wipe is super effective against the fire deck as it removes the key pieces from the game. And 3. Since Ghotis use very little resources to set up, the deck can play a plethora of impactful cards. That being said, let's take a quick look at the deck profile. I'm playing 3 copies of Lifeless Leaffish. This is basically our 1 card combo, so there's no way you don't want to play 3 cards or maximize this at 3 copies of Paces, 2 copies of Sheaf, 1 copy of Zeph, and I'm also playing 1 copy of Keith, Mark of the Ghoti. This is one of the new release cards from the Phantom Nightmare. Now, I basically have a love dislike or slash love disappointed relationship with this card because I think this card could have been better. If this card was a tuner, definitely would have been so much better for the deck. However, it's not. Then again, it does give us some form of play that we lack. Like it is a form of disruption, and it banishes the opponent card when it special summon, and it special summons one of our banished cards. Now this is another key takeaway here, because the fact that it banishes, it special summon one of our banished cards, this was a problem the deck had back in the days. Back in the days, if our Zep or Snowpiercer got banished because maybe our backs were pushed to the wall and we had to use the effect of Ascan to banish them, to special summon itself, we would have lost that interaction during the opponent's stage, and we no longer would have those cards in rotation. But what the Keith would now do is get these cards back on the field. So either get back in our graveyard or back in the hand or special summon them, which is quite good because that basically puts them back in rotation, and we can play during the opponent's turn multiple times, which is a key factor of this deck. But I love this card banishes cards, which is one adding to the matchup for the fire cards. Like we can banish the cards when you special summon Princess special summon from the graveyard, or the Garunix. Yeah, all these cards get rid of because these are the 2 Flame Burge. Oh my goodness, these cards are troublesome, right? So this card is quite nice. I'm playing 1 copy of Omen of Ghoti, 1 copy of Snowpiercer. Now I used to play multiple copies of Snowpiercer, but now I'm playing only 1 copy of Snowpiercer because we have the Keith. So I'm playing 1 because once you have Snowpiercer in rotation, yeah, bro, unless the opponent does some banishing face down, Snowpiercer is all good. Snowpiercer is an MVP in the fire matchup because Snowpiercer, when you special summon, you can target a card, and when that card leaves the field, it's banished, guys, which means Flame Burge gets banished, Grunix target get banished, Ice the Princess targeted gets banished. All these cards are cards your opponent want in the graveyard or to be sent to the graveyard to utilize the effect or secondary effects. Snowpiercer is breaking backs. This card is the MVP in the fire matchup, and you want to see this card in your hand. Your opponent fears this card. You can maybe decide a few of this in your side deck because of the fire matchup, but I'm just saying, whenever this card in rotation, you are all good. Oh, now we have Moonlight of the Ghoti. This card, oh, I need to see this card. Oh my goodness, this second rain is looking fine. Moonlight, oh, Pisces, yeah, Yugioh card name Butcher. I know, guys. Don't take my head. I know I'm butchering the card name, right? But Moonlight, just call the guy Moonlight. This card brings so much value to the Ghoti deck. Okay, is it the support we needed or wanted? Not really. It doesn't fix the issue Ghoti has, but it definitely helps. It pushes the deck a little. Like this card basically is a starter, an extender, a resource. This card is the government. This guy's the government, right? I really love this card. This card does so. This card is gonna be in all of your combos, and man, I guarantee this card is just. I'm also playing 1 copy of Ghoti Chain. All right, this is experimental. I'm experimenting with Ghoti Chain because of Moonlight, Ghoti Chain is now such a powerful card. Back in the day, I would utilize Ghoti Chain with either one of the tuners, or specifically lifeless leaf fish. Like it got a maximum play because of lifeless leaf fish, or if you have an established board. Now any of your fish monsters and this card is a form of interruption during the opponent's turn, which is quite good. I'm playing 3 copies of a big shark. Yeah, definitely a big shark with the silent angler. Definitely. The ice jade. Oh my goodness, this card. After Snow Pierce, and I didn't even mention the fact that basically gets you the boss monster itself. This card indicates when your opponent activates an effect, if you chain this effect to it, you can banish the copy or copies of that card field in the graveyard. Bro, Grix activated effect from the graveyard. Nah, my guy. Nah, my guy. This guy protects us from being banished and destruction and also banishes card. I love this in this matchup. And the fact that this is a water deck, we can play multiple copies of this because we have many water monsters. You can even maximize that at free. But yeah, we keep it safe. We don't want to get too greedy. We want it to be a little too bricky. So yeah, we played it at only two. Only two. Definitely capitalizing on 3 copies of the field spell. Oh my goodness. The field spell with Moonlight. Oh my goodness. Anything that says banish, Moonlight is hopping on it. This card just changes the trajectory of the deck. It just gives the deck that little push and makes the deck so much more fun. Like the deck plays a little better, especially now we in the format we are. Like the deck versus the meta is quite good. So it's like, yeah, we are looking good, we are feeling good. So this is a searcher plus like there are times, right, I don't even care about the search. I just want to banish. Like sometimes you're gonna banish Ascan. Ascan is gonna banish this is gonna banish Snopius, and everybody's just gonna return to the field, and like so many things just gonna happen. Like this activating this card, your opponent is like, oh my god, nah bro. It's like we playing the fire deck with a water version of the fire deck because the recursions of these monsters are ridiculous in this deck. I'm playing 1 copy of Gold Sack. Oh man, if this card was at free, that'd be crazy. Gold Sack into Moonlight is nuts. Right? If you have any of these tuners in your hand, you go sucked into Moonlight, just know you set up for life during your opponent's turn. Your opponent is gonna eat multiple interruptions, including a board wipe from the Beyond. And let me just tell you, Beyond versus the Fire decks, bro, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well. Okay, I'm playing 3 copies of let's call it 4 copies of Instant Fusion, because this basically here is the play is gonna allow you to go into your arena post. So basically, if you open any of these tuner cards, we're just gonna level 2 tuners, activate this to bring the fish shark, I think it is a level 4 fusion, and it's gonna allow us to go into our 6, which is arena post. Boom, which is gonna set us up. And we all know, guys, if you're a Ghoti player, you set up an arena post during your opponent's turn, you're gonna get a search and you're gonna get some interruptions. And given the inclusion of Moonlight, a lot more is happening. Trust me, a lot more is happening. Like I said earlier, the deck utilizes very little resources, so which means we have slots for 12 hand traps, guys. Free Nibiru, free Ash, free Droll, free Imperm. The deck 1 and 2 card combos plays during the opponent's turn like crazy. Plus we have the defense, hand traps in hand. Oh my goodness. And you guys are gonna see how effective the deck is, because for the next few videos I will be showcasing the deck versus the top decks, the best decks in the game, and we are gonna see how the deck fares against and why I think it's a good matchup versus this deck. To close it off, here are the extra deck. We are playing the Rare Fish, like I said, the Rare Fish, level 4 for the Instant Fusion to go into the level 2s. So like it's brickless, man. It's super powerful. I'm also playing a level 2 tuner. In the event we draw level 4s. So I'm covering all bases. If we draw the level 4s, we go into the level 2 tuner to go into our arena post. If we draw the tuners, we're going into the Rare Fish. Quite simple. Our 10 Barner, the Fleur is now $2, quite cheap. The deck goes into 10s, very easy. We are playing the Ice Jade Synchro, like I mentioned earlier. Also, the Ice Jade card also gets you easily to Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign, which definitely is a level 10. We emphasize on the level 10s. Ghoti Beyond. You can play this card at 2 because it's so spicy. It's so spicy. White Whale, it's the only form of disruption. So I guess maybe in the matchup, I've actually activated this card in the matchup. This despite it destroying cards. But this card with Snowpiercer effect, because there are times I've activated Snowpiercer effect. Let's use say on a Flamberge where it banish when it gets destroyed, and I go into the white whale, so Flamberge get destroyed. However, it is banished, and this card now attacks all your opponent monsters. I mean 2 monsters, which is quite nice effect. Quite a nice effect. 2 copies of Ascan. You do not want to play any less than 2 copies of Ascan, 2 arena posts. I'm also playing the stealth cracking package because it's quite easy to go into stealth cracking with the Abyss Shark and the spawn. Man, that's so many times I've lost because I didn't have spawn, so I'm like, I have to make space for the spawn. You're playing the arena, the white charmer, the water charmer, because there are times you're gonna Nibiru your opponent and you're gonna have the Abyss Shark in hand, and you just cannot summon it. So any other water monster allows us to go into the arena, and then we're gonna go into our Abyss Shark and move, and then the Abyss Keeper, which is a spot remover and a free special summon from your hand. This is very nice with Snowpiercer and also the Moonlight Ghoti. Bro, definitely. If you guys want to see more of the deck, stay tuned for the next videos. You're gonna see the deck versus all the meta decks.